Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Tonight's video is my crafty goals for 2021 and my channel goals for 2021. As most of you guys know, we just came off of Alicia's live a minute ago. So I also just got out of the shower, so my face is a little bit red. So I thought I would do this video because today has been an emotional day. Yeah, today's been an emotional day. So if you didn't hear in the live, Mickey's aunt tested positive for COVID-19 this morning, and my mother took my uncle to the ER for something unrelated, but his wife is also at home with COVID and she's very sick. So my mom has doubly been exposed. I'm a little bit worried, but just going to take all the precautions that I need to take. Mickey will be doing and Obi will be doing our 14-day quarantine again. This will be the second one that we have formally done. The first one, Mickey actually worked. This time, he isn't going to work because we were all around each other at Christmas. So hopefully we don't get sick. But it's still a reality. Thankfully, I can still work, God forbid I do get sick and I can't. I do have time off, paid time off, so it won't be a huge financial struggle. I would much rather this than the alternative, so we're just going to keep it moving like we always do. And on the bright side of things, we did look at a property today we're very excited about. We've been looking close to a month now while we're working on our credit and all the adult parts of it. But we found a property today that is horribly underpriced for what it is. And it's 14 acres with 2 homes on it. It's very weird set up. There's a house in the middle of our 2 houses, or the houses that we're looking at. It's a little bit further out than we wanted to go, but it seems as though in our price range, that's going to be where we get our land. We don't want to be in a subdivision. We want privacy. So yeah, that was very exciting today. And then to come home and get the other news was a little discerning, but it is what it is. We have to keep pressing forward, and hopefully within the next couple months, we'll be able to act. And even if this property isn't available at that time, we know now, what we should be looking at and where we should be looking. The good thing for us is Mickey is a builder, so I'm not as concerned as someone else might be to get a house that requires a lot of updating, and both of these houses do require a lot of updating. But the good thing is Obi would be able to stay in the 1-bedroom, 1-bath studio. And once he is able to move out on his own, then that would become the craft cottage. But the main house is large enough that I'll have craft space in there. It's a basic 3-bedroom, 2-bath. So other than updating it and taking care of some visual things, like they're not pretty at all, this could be it for us. So that's very exciting. So 2021 at the Haven, what are we going to be doing? It was funny watching Alicia's videos this morning or when I was able to catch up, because she totally put out into words what I was struggling with inside. Because my channel is predominantly crafting, and I know I've been throwing in some hauls that are not craft related. And some people have a problem with that. You know, some people have gotten messages when we put out prayer requests that, you know, this is a craft channel, you shouldn't put that kind of stuff out, yada, yada, yada. And so I get that. So that's where I was kind of struggling. But every time I post a haul video for vintage items or thrifting items, you guys really seem to, for the most part, enjoy it. So I toyed with the idea of doing a second channel, and I just don't think I can do that because I work full time. And when a wrench gets thrown into my schedule, I struggle to make a video. And I'm not above saying that sometimes it's a struggle with personal life to be able to come onto YouTube. But at the same time, it's something that I need to do. YouTube is very much a part of my life. It is very much an escape from those stresses. It's an escape from work. I need that separation since I work from home. And I've said time and time again, working from home is no less stressful than going out into an office. So I need this separation where I can come in here and close that door and be in this world. So my best way to juggle all of my loves are to clearly mark my videos. I spent a couple hours yesterday creating specific thumbnails that will only be used for Goodwill hauls, thrift store hauls, Junkin hauls, craft hauls. That way, if someone is not at all interested in what I do on outside of crafting, they don't even have to click on that video. Now, for the people who might come in just to see that video for that reason, that are not necessarily a subscriber right now, same thing. If they're not interested in the crafting videos, those are going to be labeled with thumbnails that, hey, I'm not interested in this Valentine's treat bucket, you know? So I think that's what we're going towards. I also want to limit the amount of swaps that I'm doing every year, and that's simply because I need to be more mindful of the cost of shipping right now. We don't know when a move will happen, but if I get bogged down with a swap and I have a deadline, I don't want to have that hanging over my head. To make sure that I finish it in time and get the mail out done, yada, yada, yada. And I find that swaps sometimes are so restrictive as far as that timeline, which on one token I understand it, but on the other hand, I feel like if you're swapping with people that you trust, then you wouldn't necessarily have to set a deadline, but that's a slippery slope. So I don't recommend that for anybody. Like with Alicia, our swap, it took us months and months and months to complete it. And aside from her and I being so close, you know, I still would have trusted that she would eventually have gotten that done. And I think she would have thought the same of me. I'm less afraid of newbies nowadays. We kind of have a good balance of who we can trust here in this community, so I'm not as fearful of it. I may do a swap every quarter. I've kind of pulled away from the swap groups that I'm in on Facebook, and if any of you guys are looking for more swaps to do, there are plenty of them out there on Facebook if you have Facebook that you can get to be a part of. I know even Kayla is a part of one that's a Christian swap group. They're broken down to groups that only do memory dex cards or groups that only do pocket letters. So there's certainly a lot of avenues other than just YouTube if you are wanting to swap with someone. And I think that's the route I'll be taking. There are a few people I do want to reach out to and see if we can do a formal swap at some point in the year. But my main goal for this year is to pay back some of the Happy Mail that has been graciously sent to me. There are people like Sabrina and P and Susan who send Happy Mail to me all the time, and I feel like Now, this is my feeling. This is not how they feel, because I know for a fact Susan creates and sends out of pure joy and delight, and so do Sabrina and P. But for me, I eventually feel guilty if I'm not able to repay that. And that's just my nature. It's not something I can say, oh, I'll get over it. It's not something that, and I'm sure Susan will text me and say, girl, don't worry about it. But that's just my nature. It's not that I think that they expect it from me. It's that they're my friends and I should focus on getting some goodwill out to them also. So that's the whole reasoning for that. It's nothing, it's not elitist that I just want to send to my friends. It's nothing like that. I do want to send more racks out. I do want to do more goodwill in the community per se, because I have enough. I don't really have to go out and purchase anything new. As Alicia was going through her inventory, that's not something I do. I kind of fly by the seat of my pants, so if I'm low on something, I'll just get it then. And maybe I should reconsider that. But at this point, at this point, right now, this very moment, there isn't anything that I'm low on and that I need right now. So there may be less hauls this year. One thing I can probably concede on is Dollar Tree. I'll probably still do some Dollar Tree hauls. But as far as paper, I don't need any paper. I'm addicted to paper. But do I need it? No. So I'm in a period of reflection, and that's going to also be my word of the year. Reflection and or remember. I can't really decide. 2020 taught me a lot. 2020 taught me that I am not as strong as I like to pretend that I am, and that I am still human. And I always said to myself, who's going to save the Savior? And I used to be an avid writer in high school especially, and I remember that's in a journal here somewhere. But I wrote, who's going to save the Savior? And it holds true, because if I don't take care of myself now, nobody else is going to do it in 2021, because society has changed. Society has not necessarily changed for the better, but I just have to keep in mind that if I'm not well, then I can't be this positive influence on YouTube and in this craft community, and I want to continue that. When this thing happened with Pat, you guys know what my first thought was. My first thought was to get in the truck and go. And that bothered me a lot, that I couldn't do it. Because I still would right now. If they were to call and say she needs somebody right now, I would find a way to get there. But that's just my nature. So I have to take care of myself. Being an empath is kind of, sucky sometimes, because, if I had gone to Pat, what was I going to do? Sit there? With COVID, I wouldn't have even been able to see her. So I'm grateful that she's making huge progress and huge strides. And I'm grateful that I get to talk to her. So those are my thoughts on 2021. I would love if we continue this uphill subby count to 1,000, because I'd really do want to provide more lives for you. And that's, Alicia does them on Sundays, but say she isn't feeling well, then I want to be the backup for that. If she's not able to do a live, then, maybe I can pick it up and do the live. Also, if there's something, I just want to go live for, I want to be able to do it. So hopefully in 2021 we will eventually make it to 1,000 subscribers. And now I wrote my list earlier in the week, but it was funny that Alicia said this. I want to focus a lot on this year working on my wanted projects, less stress and time crunches. So what that means is, and I don't know how many of you know, but like Susan, my background is in art. I didn't go to college for anything, but in high school, that was all that I focused on. I took every extra class I could in art. I took any elective periods that I could. I spent those in the art room. And so I'm very, very interested in continuing my mixed media journey. And all year I wanted to do a mixed media self-portrait. And I still want to do that. So it's things like that that I've had on the to-do list that I haven't been able to accomplish yet. I really want to do that because I think as a maker in whole, if you're doing more of what you want to do, as well as the things that you're participating with friends in and collabs and stuff like that and challenges, then you're more well-rounded as a crafter and a maker, and you'll just be happier. Hopefully I'll have less creative blocks as long as I'm keeping myself motivated on the side, with a different project here and there. I still have Tootsie's birthday present behind me that I work on a little bit at a time here and there. It's pretty much done, but I have finishing touches and I want it just to be perfect. So I don't want to do that in 2021. If I know I'm going to make something for somebody, I want it to be there for their dang birthday instead of, Valentine's gift. Because the theme of it certainly isn't Valentine's. But with that said, that's my goal for this year. Now, if I'm invited to participate in a collab and I just can't turn it down, then of course I'm going to do it. But I will probably not do anything outside of that on my channel except the collab with me and Sabrina and the annual Halloween collab. That's something you guys know me for now, I think. So the Hallow collab is going to continue without fail. And then in the future, if I'm invited to a collab, I will just be honest and let you know if at that moment I can or can't. So I hope no one's offended by that, but I just don't want to overwhelm myself. I want to take more time for me, like Alicia said, and this resonated so hard that I was a huge proponent in the beginning of the year to do your self-care and, have your self-care Sunday, and I was really good at doing that. But then I fell off the wagon, and like right now I should be doing a face mask and a manicure, but my makeup desk is full of my Goodwill haul that I have yet to film because I wanted to do my makeup and stuff for it. Now I realize that was counterproductive because my makeup is covered up by the haul. So we'll have to work on that maybe after work tomorrow. But I want to get back to me. I don't want to come on here in my rags and my wet hair and my red face. I want to sometimes you guys will see me in my pajamas. There's no escaping that. That's just me sometimes. But I do want to make a better effort because it'll make me feel better. It makes me feel better to put my makeup on and put a cute pair of earrings on. And, in this Goodwill haul, you guys will see I really lucked up in the clothing department because that's something I quit buying for myself in 2020. Funny story. The whole Zoom thing where people are kind of not wearing pants and while that's all fun and games, sometimes I really don't. Like if I'm just wearing a sundress and they pop a Zoom meeting on me, I'll just go grab a shirt and put it on top and go about my business. And so I want to make a better effort. My boss a couple weeks ago said, hey, at 10:30, she said, hey, I want you to be on the Zoom meeting. We have 30 physicians that are going to meet about the new coding changes for 2021. And it's at 12 o'clock. So she literally gave me an hour and a half to get prepared for that. So I did pull myself together. It is possible. I know I can do it. So I just want to make a better effort. I just want to feel better. I want to be better. And I want you guys along for the journey. So, if there's something you guys are interested in, I'd like to do more tutorials. If there's something of mine that I've created that you'd like to see, let me know. I know Lauren asked if I was going to be going back to some of the series that I had been doing, and yes, to answer that, yes. That's why I did the Crafty Empties, because you guys really like the trash that we're talking about. So maybe that will be more of other things, not just crafty related, or some here, some there, whatever. Also, YouTube made me do it. There is a list of YouTubers projects that I want to do, and I can never get around to doing them. So that is definitely something that I want to do in the new year. And if there's anything at all, I'll open this up like Alicia did. If there's anything you guys have to comment on, propose, anything at all, I'm always open to listening and taking everything into consideration. So I also want to try and make a better effort to comment back on my videos. That if you listen to any of the YouTubers who are out there, like how to make your channel grow and all this, they're like, you have to engage with your people. I do engage with you guys, but I don't know that I do a well enough job. So it's not that I don't want to comment, it's just that I don't have the time. So I'll get messages on Instagram. I have a message now from Anna on Facebook that I haven't even opened. I know it's there, but I haven't stopped long enough to open it and respond to what she said. So I need to do that. But those are my goals. I also, in the resellers that I've been following, there is one, Michelle at Comfy Cozy Living. She's going to be doing junk journaling this year, and she's going to take her reseller community in that direction and kind of show them how it's therapeutic and get into the crafty side of it. And I thought that was extraordinary, because when you're over in a different community and you're commenting and you're participating, and you're being kind, people are being kind to you, it's like, oh my gosh, there's another crafter out here. I don't feel so alone. So that's also something that was on my list for 2020, and I never got around to doing it. So that's something I want to do. Yeah. So that's where the Haven is headed. Y'all pray for me that during this quarantine, I don't kill Mr. Haven or Junior Haven. But yeah, with that said, I've been talking for a long time, you guys. This is why I should be on lives, because I love to talk to y'all. That's a good thing. That's one positive, that I don't mind being on the camera at all. So with that said, you guys, if you have anything at all you want to interject down in the comment box, please do. I'd love to hear everyone's thoughts. And yeah, I'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow after work with a Goodwill haul. So you guys stay tuned for that. Much love.